na mo hye de ekoso ewo aman ahodo so. And if you take from last 5 years, we've seen series of coup d'etats akoso ewo bibiman mu. Most of them are West African sub-region. And then they see, is it that something is happening? Yen share that emfa yeni ehunu yana.
Largely, we see a lot of these military juntas, like the leadership, they are more taking over countries in the area. There are reasons mainly for doing that in the economic issue. The handling of economic issues in those respective countries are not, done optimally. And they feel they have to take over the country and then restore that, make the dignity to their citizens.
Mm-hmm.
Another one to say terrorism, extremism. And Mali, Niger, Burkina Faso, these three countries now, we've known for a while they are being led by military juntas now. Which means all of them are plagued with terrorism issues. And you see that their armies are fighting a lot of these Islamic extremist groups and things.
Mm-hmm.
And the battle is not easy at all. Part of their reasons for taking over the government is that they are better capable of fighting these extremist groups than those civilian governments that they had actually overthrown. That's an kind of thing. So it's mainly these two issues: economic and the Islamic extremism.
I mean, these are factors, but if we are to disaggregate these factors, how big is the issue of extremism? How big is the issue of economic issue? If you are to take country by country, na question if the two factors are both, so for example, Sahel region, you mentioned economic any fighting insurgents, and I said one more my imagine so etia my hodono. Maybe how big is, for example, maybe for economic issue? If you are to compare the two, economic as compared to the insurgencies, how big is the economic issue?
Oh, economic issue, because of course, the aftermath from last years back, the then government MPP, the effects of COVID have hit the economy and now all those economic issues and all that. They were seen in all these other African countries. Inflation was high. The economy was not that stable and all that. Also, the COVID brought a lot of uncertainty.
Yeah.
These across all these countries. And my opportunity for these soldiers to overthrow the country because the normal the civilian government have no protection. That's okay. And most of the time, when the which the commercial but they
Rabda wadama sanka betimi agina ye dia man esan se ba bia wo no line ni twetwasi yensidan to nkan ye wadama
okay
e ba chan ye to nkan wadama
okay me
ye to nkan
okay now me say so these economic issues, inflation and all that, economic management, corruption also. It was one of the main reasons. Okay, so of course the corruption can be intertwined with some of the economic issues now, because maybe a government funds, but now they will just dissipate it in some wild fashion. That's I say, and it goes to affect the people and affect them really seriously. And what we say, anytime in these three countries, for example, the people were sort of happy about it. Because you know what we were going through at that point in time, no, it wasn't easy, especially economically. Okay, and also to with regards to terrorism, no, it's that an issue. Even in Benin, northern Benin, almost you see terrorism. That's what I say. And you see one of the reasons why almost attempted to say the government is not putting it with regards to terrorism in northern Benin. And the fellow soldier force. And to take over to what? To handle the situation at hand. See, you can see consistently that a lot of these countries are taking over now, or they have been coup attempts and things. You know, they have these two main issues that sweep across them.
And you see, the strangest part is that if say oko amaya hodo no a coup ni si so no, and as a coup ahodo si so, and we can speak about Madagascar, which was started by a year Timbamufo no ano. Aside that, oba baby to say Burkina Faso, Niger, Mali, any in Krahodo no akanoa, there seems to be some level of acceptance for a year the military intervention. Why is that the case?
It's largely because of mainly corruption and economic issues. But I must also say, in Guinea-Bissau, it wasn't that popular. Because at that point in time, no, the people were making a decision. I mean, they were the ballot box. Now, you see, and so when the people are making their voices now, someone say voting under democracy, no, it is a way of the people, telling the states what they actually want. And so at that point in time, no, the timing of the coup, no, especially in Guinea-Bissau, I'm thinking of Guinea-Bissau because of how peculiar it is. And the military, they didn't get the needed support from the people, as opposed to these other countries, Mali, Niger, Burkina Faso. But in the short term, around those points in time, there was the elections were not close. That's at the end. And also to that point in time, no more economically. At the same time, so they were being subjected to security issues and terrorism and all those things. No more farm. Of course, at that point in time, when the military came, they needed some breath of fresh air. Utina, embracing the military. But of course, with the exception of Guinea-Bissau, you know to say the difference between Guinea-Bissau and these other countries, in Guinea-Bissau, they imposed a curfew almost the entire country. But social Mali, Niger, Burkina Faso, they allowed people to go into the streets and celebrate because now more. So of course there are these political efficacies involved, but this is generally the situation.
And where does Ghana stand in all of this? Because I know, sir, we have a special envoy or the Sahel region. We have stated categorically, say, Enyadia, Asra Abain, Tietia, Ewo, Abain, and Padodoano, Atwaba, Aiwon Suono, Enyadia, Etumu. But then you realize, say, there is an envoy to Sahel. How should our relationship be with some of these states and other countries?
Because it seems and just as you observe, most of it is going on in West Africa. That's already ECOWAS. So the existing effort to bring them back into the food. no at least ships in ECOWAS countries and these Sahel countries. But like I say, it's really difficult because these two issues, and are so in all these African countries. So almost like a matter of time for in most very maybe I like it.
Ora Abdullahi, wadaroma, wahoma no sign etwetwa sibio.
Eba.
Isan say baby adin komana wura no ehu hia ye nyina. Ye din komai ene atiefu nyina ehu hia ye papa to me tie wadama. Okay, happy 90.9 FM no gusu ati no Ora Adam Zig-Na Abdullahi oye mranimni oye international diplomatic observer ene no twetwem komo efa ku ahodo asie ewa bibiman mu over the past 6 years no dodo no ano de oman bibiman atoye famu ena ku ahodo no ano atumi asisie no ano ensem a ehye eye asrafo na no anase ensem asrafo dodo no agina so edidi sa adwuma ahodo no ene timamufo a wo mo ho enha wo mo ene wono mo a wo mo age aman ahodo no bi afa wo mo akutia eye aban no na emma ahobambo ho nsem intimi nsipi e wo sa aman ahodo no so ene ne yebusa emu se wo hwa emu dia hensem yenu a aye enyina so sem edema asrafo emu dia hepa na mu oduro o so oni mienu nyina mu odu se isan se ebegina eye oman no ene se de eniema etie oman bi wo ha wako atia eye jihadists no a insurgents no a enya de a eniema etimi akoyi de amaomo asrafo no nso enya gidie bi se so omo agi oman ni si omo sra so betimi ako atia wono ma omo ekutia oman ntina obehwe emia bi wo ha na asrafo no akwakoje na omo agina mu no ena mebusa se kamia se ase oba abiman enkankane atoye famu ha no a em se ba bia ku na sie bia no enkankane ni je Mali ene Guinea ene de ase nipa dodo no ano asomu prekope agi atomu ase kamia se eno ene wonjefo no so hwe bra dodo no ebre no a eno anti na be na dodo no agi atomu no bana mebusa se ene no se ohwe de asie oman Ghana yade a yade anu disem aba betudwa da montene so se kuku de nya de so ene kwan a aman panyimfo ahodo bi no mu wo mo fa so ensankra ne mani se de be ya wo mo emre a wo mu di wa ban mu no wo betimi atene mu anaso wo betimi ama awa eno no nya de a ye pene so ye wo envoy a wo no okọ the Sahel region ene mampanyini His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ayi no se won konkonko hyo na nkita hodi a wo sa aman ne me nsantem ni oman Ghana ntem no won hwe so okopiam wo la Côte d'Ivoire sisi a me ne okase His Excellency John Dramani Mahama akwakopiam wo eho ade a akoso wo a the charter ECOWAS charter akan tia no mampanyi akwakopiam wo a wo kwako support ura Alassane Ouattara enti na me bisa se mo na mo hwe aman ni aman enkita hodi emu mo ye mu hwemu. What should our stance be on sa eniema hudo ya emwa dodo adwene toatoa amamu ewo ebiman emu no?
Hello.
Abdullah Bachote minga. Na me bisa se metunga yipa. Na me bisa se what should our stance be on some of these matters? Because if we have an envoy a war AES, we are called Omaya Wasakra Embreni, I extended the tenure in office. No, what is that telling us?
I know to be very honest with you, a very different situation because for Côte d'Ivoire, I think I said, almost you constitutional amendments, which is allowed by law, such as to increase the tenure of office. I know there always a lot of views concerning how it was done and why it should be done and all that. But at the end of the day, that legal framework to do it, it exists. constitutional amendments, are allowed. Say, President Mama, Officer of the so-called third term. They are laid down rules as to how you should go about it. In the obesity, now Ghana for so your peninsula, then it's done. That's a thing. For Cote d'Ivoire, no, they can't want of course, commentary, no, it makes me have my views on that, but you to me, can say a illegal as compared to the or these other African countries, the Sahel region, and then like ABC or Benin.
Again, I was here, yo. Should we be that concerned? The also within West African sub-region?
Yes, we have to be very concerned. Very, very concerned because, of course, first, Medicanca said there are two hotspots causing these coups, and that's the terrorism and economic issues. Thankfully, Ghana, we don't have terrorism issues. Okay, but at the same time, Oshe Senior, more Burkina Faso, and Benin, and Niger, and Mali, or more bread in dealing with this Islamic extremism. It is a cause for concern for us. In the event where ABR they will find themselves here. Such as saying, President Mohammed's approach to it, it's actually the best. Like being on the front foot. Say, Obeka say, any help you need in dealing with this Islamic extremism, Memamu. That's what I say because it's very, very important. It will keep spreading. They work with ideology. And we almost say, maybe an area they've not actually sent their ideologies there, no. Or many members to say, let's start with Ghana, let's start with this, let's go here, let's go here. And here, say, as a proactive state, we help our brothers in Niger, Burkina Faso, even in Nigeria and in northern Benin, say, you should deal with this Islamic extremism before it becomes a very serious canker in the West African region.